Hi everyone, we're a team building AI solution to bridge the gap between the social media inspiration and real life decision. Have you ever had this experience? You are scrolling through the Instagram, you see an outfit you really love, so you save it, but you never actually wear it. That is exactly what the problem we are solving. Today, consumers are constantly inspired by social media. On average, people spend over 2 hours a day scrolling, and nearly 40% of Gen Z have purchased something because of the influencer content. But despite all these inspirations, the journey from I like this to I wear this is still broken. There are three key problems. First, the journey is fragmented. You save, you screenshot, you search, you compare, and often give up. Second, the e-commerce only recommends the individual items, but what users actually want is a complete outfit. Third, your wardrobe is disconnected. You don't always know how to style what you already have. So the real gap is not inspiration, it's turning inspiration into action. That's why we built Feed2Fit, a creator-driven styling platform that turns social media inspiration into personalized, actionable outfits. Feed2Fit works in three ways. First, recreate the look. You can turn any social media post into directly shoppable outfit. Second, shop the authentics. Instead of recommending just one item, we generated a full outfit based on style, budget, and alternatives. Third, style what you own. We recommend the outfits that blend new items with similar pieces you may already own and helping you to get to more value from your wardrobe. So instead of just squaring and saving, Feed2Fit helps you actually wear and what you love. We're not just another shopping tool. We are bridging the gap between the inspiration and real life.
To better demonstrate our solution, we have created a live interactive prototype of Feed2Fit. You can scan the QR code on the screen to explore the prototype yourself. It allows you to experience the full user journey from discovering outfits inspired by social media to generating personalized looks and even styling pieces from your own wardrobe. Now let's walk through the key features of the solution. First, we have the Discover section, where users explore outfit inspiration. Unlike traditional social media feeds that show random clothing items, Feed2Feed focus on complete outfit and aesthetics. User can browse different looks and filter them by occasion or vibe, such as work, brunch, weekend, or romantic style. Each card represents a full outfit idea, and when users open it, they can see the breakdown of the individual pieces needed to recreate the look. So this turns inspiration into something that is immediately actionable.
Another main feature that Feed2Feed offers is the digital closet. By extracting information from order confirmation emails, it creates a digital closet of all the items users have in their wardrobe and organizes them into categories. Each item has item photos, descriptive information, and the original price. This way, it saves a headache for users who have a packed wardrobe. To help users make more versatile uses of what they own, Feed2Feed recommends full outfits using owned items, knowing what outfits users have liked and saved in the past. This allows users to directly recreate the outfits. It also allows users to compare what they own with what are needed to complete a full look that they like, giving users a compatibility score and a breakdown of items. This way, users can choose to add new items that would work well with what they currently have, taking their outfits to the next level.
Now, next is our AI Stylish, which generates personalized outfit suggestions. Users can choose their style direction, occasion, and the budget. For example, someone could choose a weekend brunch aesthetic with a soft romantic vibe and a specific budget range. What makes this powerful is that the platform recommends complex outfits rather than individual clothing items, which helps user maintain a consistent aesthetic. Finally, we have the profile page. This section allows users to manage their account information and personal preferences.
Take a look at the current workflows that are supporting the features of our application. First, the color key for reference. We have blue for UI layers, white for ML models, yellow for boxes that are helping business value, red for items interacting with the database, and purple for the AI encoder and item inference, which will be used across multiple workflows. And lastly, green for other different pieces of the workflow. First, we'll look at the search and discovery workflow. We start here on the left with user input, and that's feeding into the search bar, which takes in both natural language text and leverages different filter buttons. Now, this is going to be passed into a query encoder, which is going to be a encoder model transformer, and it's going to be relatively lightweight despite being in the LLM family. So think something like a fine-tuned BERT style embedding model. Now, the rationale for this is we want these embeddings so we can start comparing different items across from each other but we don't want to resort to using larger scale LLM API calls like something from ChatGPT or Claude. And the output is going to be a query embedding vector with the same shape as the database outfit embeddings, which we'll get to later. So the next step is first, we're going to be filtering user preference into these database embeddings that we're pulling from the existing database. Now, what that means is the user has already decided certain things like price and category that they explicitly do or don't want, and this will reduce our future output load by reducing those items now. Next, we're going to be filtering using these embeddings. And essentially what this is doing is going to do a nearest neighbor search by comparing the embeddings, and whichever is closer is going to be a more likely fit, and whichever is further is going to be a less likely fit. So we'll sort these and then retrieve the top K rows, and those will be the candidate outfits to show to the user. Next, we're looking at the re-ranking layer. And besides the candidate outfits and their embeddings, we're looking at two additional insertion points. So we have first the affiliate brands and creators, and we're bringing them business value by upping their rank on the output page. And second, we have the outfit recommendation workflow, which is essentially pulling in items selected by the user to return search results to create an outfit based on pre-existing clothing items. Here we can see a brief example of this recommendation workflow. Essentially, we're taking items from the user wardrobe, putting it into a fitting room UI, which is selecting those items on a mannequin, a virtual mannequin, and then those items are going to get inserted at the insertion point, and hopefully those new outfits will be saved to the wardrobe. With these inputs, we'll run through the contextual re-ranking layer, and this will output a new page rank order, which will then be passed into the serving section, which is taking a database row query of those IDs, and finally outputting the ranked results feed, which you can either save to wardrobe, you can look at the results and explore the creators and shop the items that correspond. Second major workflow that we'll be considering is the outfit/creator ingestion workflow. So we start in the bottom left with a user data export JSON and by using the Meta Graph API. In short, what a user can do is in the Instagram accounts page, they can upload their data, including liked posts, saved posts, and comments through a relatively simple UI. And then we can independently query the Meta Graph API for public and business creators. Now, this is going to lead to having creators, posts, and images all together in a JSON. Now we'll be uploading the creators to the Feed2Fit database, and the posts will be taken for both their comments and caption as well as images. So first, let's look at the images. They're going to be fed into an is_outfit classifier. So what this means is if the image is of an outfit, then we'll pass it forward, and if not, then we will discard and move along. Second, if it is an outfit, then we'll be passing into the multimodal encoder and item inference. Now, this will only happen if it is an outfit, and when this happens, we're also taking the comments and caption, running some named entity recognition filtering, essentially compacting the amount of words so only important things are left remaining, and then we're going to be using this model. So this one will come up later in other workflows, but essentially it's two parts. We have an encoder, which is creating embeddings similar to the previous workflow, and second, we have item inference, which is taking in that text data and outputting the description. For the item inference, we're going to be using the OpenAI API or some other large LLM API, and this is going to be the most expensive part of our workflow. Now, the output of this is the description plus the embedding, which will be saved as items in our database that eventually some user can see, and those items will be tagged to a specific outfit. So we have the item embeddings, and then here, if you look at the items in the database, those will be concatenated into an outfit embedding. Now, lastly, to get the shoppable items, we'll be taking the descriptions of those items and passing them into a Google Shopping API. Now, here, again, we'll be injecting partner products, so we will make sure to label them, but we will be upweighting them and pushing them higher on the ranked list of retail matches. Now, we will send k-many, so this can be chosen, to the retail matches portion of the database. Now, just to go over that, we have creators who create posts, which are turned into outfits, and then outfits contain items, which are embeddings and descriptions, and then those items each have retail matches, which are ranked by confidence. The workflow that we'll be considering is the closet ingestion workflow. This is also part of the onboarding process, similar to the previous workflow, where users are uploading their Gmail and potentially photos to help fill in their wardrobe before they've been using the app and have saved via the main features. First, if we look in the top left at the user Gmail feed, it's being passed into a fashion receipt classifier. This is essentially continuing on with emails that are receipts of fashion items and is discarding all the rest. Next, we're pushing that into an HTML parser and then further into the product metadata scraper. The goal of these two models is to A, in the HTML parser, trim a lot of the fluff that comes with emails, and second, with that important information that's left, format it into the necessary metadata, images, and description to be sending A, to the user wardrobe database, and B, to the multimodal encoder. So what's important about this metadata scraper is it's also scraping the description, which allows us to neglect using the OpenAI API in our multimodal encoder, which will greatly reduce the price. Now, moving on to that multimodal encoder, we are just leveraging the embeddings part of this. So very similar to the other ingestion workflow, we're taking the embedding of the product and appending it with the rest of the details of the item. We can take a look at the user photo upload in the top left. First, we're passing this through a type toggle, and this is essentially a cost-saving measure because if it's a photo of an item as the user selects, then we've decided that they probably already know the description of it, and we can pass it into the lighter weight encoder to save on cost. However, if it's an outfit, we'll be passing it into the same multimodal encoder and item inference as search, but instead of saving to the list of possible creators and outfits, we're just going to save it to the user wardrobe. Let's quickly consider the AI stylist workflow. So we're going to be taking either a natural language input and or a click and slide filter on the UI, and this is going to be passed into, again, our purple model, however, without the embedder and just the item inference piece. So that is going to leave us with natural language descriptions for 4 items that we're going to pass into the Google Shopping API. And the idea of this is to get real items that we can then include with this AI outfit. And then second, with the information from those real items, pass it into an LLM image generator. Now, whatever generator we use is going to be pretty expensive, but this lends itself well to eventually creating a sort of premium tier where users can have more generations. Now, this is all going to culminate into the UI where you will have a visually generated outfit as well as the links and data of the associated clothing items that can be saved to the wardrobe.
When we look at market opportunity, Feed2Fit is sitting inside a large, fast-growing market with high scaling potential. We've been witnessing a massive shift in how people discover looks and buy clothes, which goes hand in hand with the rise of e-commerce and social media. At the broadest level, the global e-commerce apparel market is projected to hit 1.16 trillion USD by 2030, growing at about 8% compound annual growth rate. Within that, the US fashion e-commerce market is projected at 321 billion USD. But the real story is where the growth is happening, which is why Feed2Fit is targeting at the fastest growing behavior within this shift, the socially discovered creator influence shopping, which represents a 188 billion social commerce market in the US, exploding at over 14% year over year. So who are the main drivers of the fast growing social commerce market? Our target users are Gen Z and young millennial women who already use social media as a source of outfit inspiration, but need help turning that inspiration into something practical, personalized, and actually wearable. To understand them in detail, we break our users into 4 categories. First, we have trend followers. These are the users who actively follow fashion creators, save looks constantly, and want to recreate looks in a budget-aware way. Next, we have content creators and stylists. These are the people who lead the fashion trends and have financial incentive but also the burden to constantly come up with fresh outfit ideas. We also have users who are overwhelmed shoppers, people with strong purchase intent but too many choices and too little confidence in putting a full look together. We also see strong demand from wardrobe hoarders. These are the users who already own plenty of clothes but want smarter ways to style and reuse what they already have. When we look at the competitive landscape, we see a fragmented market. Different players serve different parts of the workflow, but none really connects the whole journey. For example, LTK and Instagram Shop are strong at discovery and shopping conversion, but their logic remains on the item level, but not the outfit level. Stitch Fix offers curated outfit sets and some budget personalization, but it lacks the social inspiration perspective, which is the key driver of how people discover looks. Wearing is strong in digital closet management, but it lacks direct shopping conversion or budget wear logic. And finally, One-Of focuses mostly on celebrity style discovery and shopping only. The way Feed2Fit differentiates itself is by combining these layers of social e-commerce, closet management, and personalized outfit intelligence into one workflow, turning social inspiration into personalized, wardrobe-aware, and directly shoppable outfits. Our business model monetizes this intersection that gives us competitive advantage. It's built to scale alongside creator influence and consumer intent. First, we drive affiliate commerce, earning a commission on every successful purchase generated from our shoppable outfit plans. Second, we leverage creator and brand partnerships. This includes sponsored outfit placements and co-marketing collections that put brands directly in front of high-intent shoppers. Finally, we offer premium subscription for users who want to go beyond free-tier features and want more advanced wardrobe analytics, personalization, and higher-touch styling tools.
Now let's talk about how we measure success for Feed2Fit. We look at this across 3 key dimensions: conversion, engagement, and retention. First, on the conversion side, we track how effectively we turn inspiration into action. This includes metrics like click-to-purchase conversion, affiliate revenue per user, and overall conversion rates from outfit recommendations. These tell us whether users are actually buying from the outfits we generate. Second, we focus on user engagement, which reflects how valuable and usable the platform is. We measure daily and weekly active usage, outfit click-through rates, and often how often users save, like, or interact with recommendations. We also track how frequently users upload their social content, which shows how integrated the product is in their daily behavior. Finally, we look at retention and long term value. This includes 30, 60, and 90-day retention, repeat usage for outfit planning, and premium subscription rates. We also monitor net promoter score to understand overall user satisfaction. Together, these metrics help us ensure that Feed2Fit is not just driving purchases, but also building long term user value and engagement. Ultimately, success for us is not just about transactions, it's about becoming a daily styling companion. From an ethics perspective, Feed2Fit is designed to be user consent driven and transparent. First, we only use public data through the Instagram Graph API, and users intentionally upload their own data, giving them full control over what they share. Second, all affiliate and sponsored recommendations are clearly labeled, ensuring transparency in monetization. Third, instead of exploiting creators, we actually drive value back to them by increasing traffic and affiliate sales. We also focus on responsible recommendations, not just pushing high profit items, but balancing user preferences and budget. And importantly, features like Style What You Own promote sustainable consumption rather than over shopping. So, overall, our approach is to align incentives across users, creators, and the platform in an ethical and transparent way. Our goal is not just to optimize conversions, but to build a trust post recommendation system. Thank you. Feed2Fit, then scroll into style.